Son? Father? Who's there? Oh. It's just my lil homies who love listening to my danky kank audio boomers. Hello. I hope your day is going as smooth as gravy. Remember kids to tell your mother that she is a boomer. She will get so mad at you and ground you for 2 to 5 weeks, but then she will remember she has no power over you cause you're a 25-year-old male. Aha. Goddamn. Oh, look at me rambling on. Let's start this chapter. Shall we? Chapter 6, The Caverns of Extinction. I looked down at the map again and then looked at my dude Thick Jim. Yeah, so the Caverns of Extinction are next I guess. I wonder where this could be. I looked up and saw literally the biggest sign I've ever seen in my life. It read, Caverns of Extinction. 30 feet to the west. Oh. I said as I pointed to the sign. Let's go west. As we began walking towards the west we saw a very cool cavern appear in the short distance. Suddenly I heard the pitter-patter of small feet coming from behind us. I turned around to see the little boy named Dal. He stopped right behind us completely out of breath because his little baby feet could only carry him so fast. He was panting over and over again and looked up at us. Don't drink the milk. Bro, what the heck are you even talking about? Where am I going to get milk at this time of the day? Plus you know I am lactose intolerant. He looked up at us confused. Oh my bad dudes. Wrong message for the wrong people. Lol. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a Gameboy Micro. Please take this when you enter the caverns. It will guide you. It will protect you. And honestly it is kind of rare and you can sell it for some mad gold once you get through the cavern, K? Ah heck yeah. I said as I grabbed the Gameboy Micro from Dal and shoved it into my shoe. Thanks my dude. Now get. I said as I picked up Dal and literally drop-kicked him 300 feet away. I turned back to Thicky the Jim. Shall we proceed to the caverns, oh Thick one? Thick Jim smiled for the first time in 20 years. Yes, sir Nasty Jack. As we approached the caverns we noticed that it wasn't just dark inside the caverns, but it was advanced dark. Whoa, this is dark, I said to the homie Jim. Yeah. He said. I reached down and pulled the Gameboy Micro out of my shoe and turned it on. Suddenly the caverns lit up bright enough for us to see at least 23.2 feet ahead of us. Wow, I love this cute little Gameboy Micro. Thick Jim looked at me. You know PC is the master race though, right? Bro, don't even get me started right now. Come on. Let's get on through the cavern. We walked into the dark cold cavern and as we got further and further into it I started noticing cardboard boxes scattered behind various stalagmites. Which for those non-smart science people, that's those pointy things in caves. You know? I held up my hand for Thick Jim to stop at his place and walked over to one of the boxes and looked inside. There was a Nintendo Wii U, an old tube TV and a bottle labeled Seth's Cool Aesthetic. I turned to Thick Jim with the bottle in my hand. Don't you see what all this stuff is? It's things that went extinct. Thick Jim looked into the box. Wow, that's pretty wacky. But why would the map lead us through this? I threw the bottle back into the box and stood up straight. IDK my dude. But let's continue, this cavern is giving me the ole 1-2 heebie-jeebies. We continued to walk through the cave, not hearing anything but our footsteps clapping and Thick Jim's big stinky farts every 3 minutes because he had a big burrito for lunch. After what felt like 10 minutes, I noticed a light at the end of the caverns. Oh sick my dude. There is the end. That wasn't very dangerous or freaky at all. Lol. I started to pick up my pace a little since I was very excited to get out of the stupid ugly fat caverns and into the smart beautiful skinny daylight. We were roughly 32.3 feet away from the exit when all of a sudden rocks fell from the ceiling and closed the exit off and the darkness grew stronger around us. You could say the battlefield got weird. I heard the sound of someone walking towards us. As he approached my Game Boy Micro light, I saw a dude with a fedora and neckbeard and a 3DS hanging out of his pocket with a very cool lesbian decal. He stuck out his hand. Hand over the Game Boy Micro. Bruh, no way, this thing is so dope. Who the heck even are you? My name is Malady the Collector. I risk my life to collect rare items from these caverns, but I have never ever seen a Game Boy Micro IRL. So hand it over. Don't make me kill you. Yo, I literally fought off an ogre, a herd of Caverns and a bunch of man-eating rats while drowning in a swamp in the span of like 30 hours. Do you really think I'm scared of a dude with a Crunchyroll subscription? The weeb pushed his glasses up to his eyes. You will regret saying that. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a Beyblade. Break time. Hello, sons and daughters. Or whatever you identify as. The Nasties are an accepting group of people. Anyhow, let me give you my review of the week. Today I'm reviewing the Pokemon manga series. Yes, some of your friends will call you a weeb or dork or ugly. But trust me, these little backward comics are pretty cool. Well, I mean, they are kind of cool. Sometimes they are a little cringe and sometimes they are a little too crazy to be Pokemon stories if you ask me, but overall I'd say read them because they really make you think more about Pokemon, and who doesn't like thinking about those amazing pocket monsters? Ah. Wow, Pokemon is so cool. I remember one time I was vibing at this bachelor party and my dude was laying on the top bunk of this bed and he literally was just playing on a Pokédex app on his phone and he kept me up for like an additional 43 minutes. Good times. Amen. Okay, let's get back to the story. Thick Jim and I looked at each other in confusion. You really gonna use a Beyblade to try to kill us? We burst out laughing like this, ha what a weeb. The weeb looked at us in anger and then smirked. Yeah, I know this thing is too small to kill you. He snapped like the snip snap and the Beyblade grew 60 times bigger. It now took up most of the cavern. The weeb did a backflip and landed in the splits. Let it rip. Suddenly the Beyblade began spinning like super duper fast and came speeding towards us. Run, my dude, I said as I turned down the caverns and began sprinting. But boy oh howdy, this Beyblade was coming at us at like top freaking speeds and I was like, son please no no no. I could feel the wind from the spinning top getting closer and closer to me and the wind was messing up my very cute hairdo. Then I tripped on a rock and ate the young ground. Oh if. I turned around and noticed the Game Boy Micro had fallen out of my pocket and the Beyblade was getting closer and closer to me. The Game Boy Micro turned on without my permission and a powerful energy came rushing out of the screen. It was like a very strong laser. It hit the Beyblade and it began spinning in the opposite direction towards the weeb. Phew. I said as I picked up the Game Boy Micro. I looked at the screen and it said press any button to teleport. Ah heck yeah, the boy's getting teleporting vibes tonight. I grabbed the Jim's arm and pressed any button on the Game Boy Micro. Everything went white. We appeared on the outside of the cavern and as our eyes adjusted to the day I looked at the very studly thick Jim. Boy that was wild. Then the Game Boy Micro blew up in my hands. Oh sorry. I forgot to tell you something about the Game Boy Micro. We turned around to see Dal on top of the caverns. If you use it to teleport it will straight up explode. Got a blast. He hopped off the cavern and began running towards the west. Grr. I hate yo medieval times. Wait a damn second. Didn't the king say we were gonna have to fight a beast in the caverns of Extinction? Thick Jim looked behind us at the now closed off caverns. Maybe because that dude was beast. You know? Like how people in the futuristic year of 2006 say things like beast and boss and bone. Lol, wow, the king really does have a good sense of humor. I smiled at him. Then one of the Susans from the village of Not Chill Vibes came out of nowhere. Oh hi dudes. By the way, some of us Susans are actually very cool and because of you I am now free from those Karen's curse. Oh yeah, I said to Susan. There are lots of cool Susans out there. Sorry that the Karens pulled you into their ugly mess. Karens suck, you know. Grr. I hate Yole Karens. Susan smiled at us and gave us each 4 boxes of Curious George fruit snacks. Again, thank you for treating Susans with mad respect, yo. She smiled and then began walking towards the west. Wow, I love Curious George fruit snacks. Nothing could ruin this day, I said as I pulled out the map. Oh son of a nut. Looks like we must next go to the cliffs of agonizing and painful deaths. And I just remembered that Jim. I am allergic to death.